to order. We do have a quorum present. All 5 members of the council are here tonight. Join me in a moment of prayer. Please remove your hats. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for the blessings that you continue to rain down upon us. We thank you for the wonderful rain that you've given us today. Father, we ask that as we go through this meeting, that your peace and your calmness remains over everybody. And Father, we just ask for your guidance and your direction as a city as we decide our future here tonight. We ask these things in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen. Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right, moving on to item number 4.0, council announcements. At this point, comments may be made by council on the following topics without specific notice: expression of thanks, congratulations, or condolences; information on holiday schedules; recognition of public officials, employees, or citizens other than employees or officials whose status may be affected by the council through action; reminders of community events; and update on city properties. So before I turn it over to the rest of the council, I would just like to take a moment to offer the city's condolences to Bo Davidson and his family regarding the loss of his grandmother. Very, very much appreciated the service he does to the community. So, David? No comment? Amy?
No, I mean, July 4th was amazing. I kind of want to give another thank you to all of the volunteers and all the participants and everybody that showed up. I think it was a huge success, and we look forward to a bigger one next year.
Absolutely. Look forward to somebody else running it next year. Jim?
I'm good, thank you.
Michael?
No, sir.
Bo?
Yeah, I just wanted to say how great the 4th of July was, and everybody who went out and volunteered and helped us out, and everybody who participated. It was a really great event.
I agree. All right, public comments, receipt of petitions. We have a few, surprise. At this time, anyone will be allowed to speak on any matter other than personnel matters or matters under litigation for a length of time not to exceed 3 minutes. No council or board discussion or action may take place on a matter until such matter has been placed on an agenda and posted in accordance with law. So, we are going to start with Miss Rita Davidson. If you could make your way up to the podium here. And guys, if y'all are out there, just please holler at them for me.
Oh, I was going to be first.
If you could stand on the other side of the podium, and you're going to speak.
Face us.
You're speaking to the council. So stand on the other
Right
side.
here, ma'am. Right here.
There we go.
Got it.
We got her. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Rita Davidson. I'm at 1900 Sandpiper Drive in Clyde, Texas.
Your
And
3
this
minutes.
concerns AI data centers possibly being tested to come into our community. Is it okay to talk about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. A year ago, I didn't know what a data center was, but I do now, and I do know people who work at the data center, and they do make a good income. So I know there's some positives there. I have several concerns, but I'm only going to talk about one of them just for time's sake. So one of the issues that I have is the rising housing demand that is pushing longtime residents out of rentals. And this is I'm talking about Abilene, not Clyde right now. My daughter got a 30-day notice that her rent, she lives in Abilene, she got a 30-day notice that her rent was going up to $900. So her rent would be now $2,900 a month for a small duplex. And she had no choice but to move out because it was too expensive. It didn't matter that she was a good tenant and that she paid her rent on time. And there were a few options for places to go. She moved in to my house in Clyde. And her kids had gone to the same school since kindergarten. And they were in danger of being pushed out of their school district because there's no housing available. When you get, not evicted, but when you get displaced from your place, there's very few options to go that are cheaper because of the housing demand. So it's traumatic for children to move out of their housing, and it's also traumatic if they have to change school districts just because their rent went up too high. And Abilene is not the only place that children are being affected from AI centers. In Childress, Texas, where another data center is being built, apartment rents are being raised to unaffordable rates. And one mother and her children were being forced out. And one mom commented, how is a data center more important than children? A lot of these people that are being displaced in Abilene are in desperate situations. They may not have the means to go anywhere other than to move away. The response for what can be done about this, I have heard, is that it's how the free market works. And I do understand that.
Ma'am, it's 3 minutes.
Oh, is it
Yes, ma'am.
over? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So the only solution I see is to keep the AI centers from coming to the community in the first place.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Charles Dyer.
Permission to enter, sir.
Yes, sir.
How are y'all today?
If you could state your name and address for the record.
Yes, sir. My name's Charles Dyer. I live at 1412 County Road 631, Clyde, Texas. Right out here off of 2700.
Okay. You have
Everybody-
3 minutes.
Okay. Everybody knows me, calls me Toby. If the laws is looking for me, it's Charles. The reason I'm here is because of the data center. I think if we ever get one of these things in here, there's gonna be some big major problems. You sit down there on 6:04 of evening time, y'all probably count them. I counted 110 trucks one morning, about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know where this data is possibly going in at. I understand it's going in right out here by the sewer treatment plant.
Yes, sir.
It's in the works of that. Can you only imagine what them trucks are gonna be like out there? You know, so, and I do agree with the other lady that I think it's gonna knock a lot of rent properties out. You know, people trying to rent, stuff like that, so. I'm gonna keep my little story short, but, that's my opinion on it. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. Jamie Johnston.
I read that we could comment, if it's on the data center, that we would be able to comment after we got information. If that's okay, I would prefer to do that.
I will hold yours.
Thank you.
Johnny Maybash? Mayhew, sorry. Please state your name and address for the record.
Johnny Mayhew, 761 FM 604.
Thank you. You have 3 minutes.
Anybody's drove out on 604, you know the mess that I'm dealing with. I got a 3,000 car parking lot being put next to me. Now, I don't know how big this one that's coming is, but if it's any size like that, we can't have it. It'll destroy us. This place has already gotten rough to live in. I would ask that all of you go speak to Dennis Rogers, the man that lives right across the street. Family's been there for generations. Speak to him just as much as you do these people and get his opinion. You can obviously see there's a lot of people that don't want this. I just ask that you take careful consideration because a lot of people are being harmed. It's little things, but it adds up. 604 is dangerous now. There's no getting around that. But please be considerate when you decide this. That's all I ask. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Archie Akers. Please state your name and address for the record.
Okay, it's Archie Akers, 4188 Private Road 2751, Clyde. The AI plant would probably be placed out on y'all's land on 275, which is right down the road from me. Now, I do have infrastructure on my land as far as our ranch with wind farm and stuff, and I know what problems that does cause. The AI plant will make noise, will hum, just cause a lot of other problems. The AI plant that's on 604 and 351, it doesn't seem like it would impede on our ranch, but they're running a 24-inch gas line through my land right now. No choice in it. I did settle with the gas company to send the line, but it could affect our land out here at my house if they had to have bigger electricity sent over there, because the lines are south of me is where the main lines are, and they'd have to come through my land to get there. And other issues can arise, you know, this, I know it'd be income to the city, but have y'all given abatements to the company or pledged abatements? Well, that's gonna be less tax returns for a few years. Just a few things to think about that could come forward. You know, if they're gonna tap the water wells and pump all the water out of the ground on y'all's land, that would nullify our water wells. Ours are not real good anyway, and that would end up causing us more problems. It's just gonna be, and the traffic problems would be a lot of problems for us. You know, I have to travel 604 where the AI plants are being built, and it is dangerous because those 18-wheelers roll. And so I just hate to see it be built on such a small area, because the only way to get more area is to push us out and buy our land up. I've been there for 41 years, so I'd rather it not be placed there. Thank you.
Thank you, Archie. Olivia Brown, or I'm sorry, is that Bowen? Bowen, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Olivia Bowen, 3017 County Road 275.
Okay, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. So, I have a speech. If the AI Center goes up down the road from me, people will leave. People will move. Tax money will be lost because people are leaving, even if you're making tax money off of the AI Center. If the property value of the homes goes down, do the landowners get a tax cut because their property values are down because of the AI Center down the county road? Let's not forget the immense light and the low frequency noise that is constant with these AI centers that has been causing cows across multiple counties in Texas to have stillbirths. The light coming off of these facilities is constant, so the people surrounding these data centers are under constant light. Data centers will put off, I didn't know this, I had to do my own research. Data centers will put off electromagnetic radiation at supposedly low levels. But considering there isn't long-term studies done surrounding the effects of electromagnetic radiation, how are we supposed to know how dangerous it is for humans? What are the long-term issues that are going to arise from living so close to these things? The water concern. Clyde barely has enough water for the citizens. And yet, here we are, supposedly putting in a data center that will just use up more water. Hundreds of thousands of gallons of water every single week. Clyde is seeing this as a money grab, but at the end of the day, y'all aren't making enough money off this deal to dig yourselves out of the hole made by previous council. That's the truth. This is a temporary solution with devastating long-term consequences. Thank you.
Camilla White. State your name and address for the record.
Camilla White, 525 South First Street West, Clyde, Texas.
You have 3 minutes.
My concern is like everyone else's, this AI center. One, how do we support the water situation when and I know there's been water sold in the last 8-10 months, whatever it was, when they were helping out with the data center going up 604 because they want to be in on this deal, make money. And we haven't even got the pipeline from Fort Phantom to here. That's never been accomplished. And then you want to put in give a lease, a 3-year lease they can't build. Well, that all is going to lead up to a data center moving in. That's just a foot in the door. It's not like, okay, this is just a lease to let them park. It's going to wind up being a data center more than likely after they've already established a footing. And I'm sure that that's probably already on y'all's minds. You're already aware of this. And then the traffic, the roads, we can't even get our roads fixed around town, and yet this road's really going to suffer by the time in the traffic that it's going to impede, and I'm sure that's going to increase the traffic that comes down the middle of South First Street and that, because they've got to take certain ways, just like 604 has become congested at the four-way stop. My son can't even get off the road because they constantly run the stop sign. They don't care. They don't obey the law. If a cop would sit out there, they would see these guys run the stop. And I can't imagine what this is going to do out there by where the pound and everything is. I feel for the people that are out there. I don't exactly live on that spot, but I've seen those water trucks that went by when the previous council had decided it was a good idea to sell the water to these guys to make sure they got in on the money while they're establishing the ground and whatever groundwork they needed. And I don't feel it's a good idea. There's a lot of these small towns and stuff that are fighting these AI centers. And I would hope that y'all would look into this and see what, how this is going to affect us. And there's, this is going to affect the city and all the citizens and stuff. And it's going to price, like the other people have said, people out and people having to move because they can't even afford to be here because now people want to jack the rent up because they can get these guys that make better money at these AI centers. And I'll stop there, but I would appreciate, that you kind of give an ear to everybody and not just proceed with everything as normal. Because this is a major step. I've lived here 25 years and I'm not wanting to move yet.
Thank you, Camilla.
Thank you.
Peggy Forbes. Peggy Forbes. Oh, sorry. With all the people out here, I want to make sure they're hearing me. Please state your name and address for the
Peggy
record.
Forbes, 2302 Friend Circle, Clyde, Texas.
And you have 3 minutes.
Most of my concerns have already been mentioned by other people, but my main concern is water. Our water quality, as y'all know, is horrible here now already. We buy water instead of all our drinking water. And I was told 2 years ago I couldn't even water my flowers because there wasn't enough water. What's going to happen when there's no water, when it's all pumped out from under the ground and we're not getting any from Abilene? They're going to cut us off because they're going to go broke with all the water things they have over there going. My sister lives there, so I know about their water thing. But, and traffic, it's gonna be horrible. And as you can look around here, most of us are older. And we moved here and we live here instead of Abilene or somewhere because it was smaller. When I moved here from Colorado City, I chose here instead of Abilene, even though my sister and mother lived in Abilene because of the small, friendly town I lived in here when I came to visit. So what are we gonna do when we don't have water and then we don't have electricity? I mean, it's a big concern in the traffic, huge concern. We almost got ran over just going to Abilene the other day, but with one of those big trucks that didn't even stop at a stop sign. So we're really concerned about that. Like I said, most of my stuff was addressed by the people before me, so mine's short and sweet, but that's what I had to say.
We
Thank you.
appreciate you, Ms. Beck. Lenny Branton. Please state your name and address for the record.
Lenny Branton, 922 South 4th, Clyde, Texas.
Okay, you have 3 minutes.
Okay. I really don't have anything to add or different from what others have said, but I want, you know, we're well represented here with numbers. There are just so many reasons for us not to allow another AI center to have a foot in the door. We've talked about traffic. I have a friend that I went to pick up on 604 just last week for an event. It's 5 minutes from my house here in town to that house. I just happened to be going during one of the really high traffic times. It took me nearly 30 minutes to get across 604 because I had to, after the four-way stop sign at the car dealership, had to drive and drive and drive to the end of the traffic because I don't go into that driveway often, and I couldn't even see where I was supposed to turn for all the belly trucks, okay? So I couldn't even stop in hopes that someone would let me make a left turn. I drove to the end of the traffic on 604, whipped a U, and then had to wait, you know, to finally get up to the gate where I needed to turn into to pick up my friend. That's ridiculous. So we were late for everything that we were gonna do that day. And, you know, and of course everybody's mentioned the water, just the chaos, We don't need this in Clyde. And I thank each of you council members, each of you staff, and mayor. I thank y'all for the jobs that you're doing in leading us here, and I just ask you, please listen. Please listen to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you. Denise Chavarria. State your name and address for the record, please.
Denise Chavarria, 3703 County Road 275.
Okay, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you for letting us speak here. I appreciate that. One thing I would like to point out is this will be in my front yard. And I hope that some of you can see and hear that. In my front yard. My family has owned this land since 1924. It's been passed down from my great-great-grandparents. And one thing that I really hope you understand is that I know this isn't just an agenda item for a 180-day lease evaluation. I'm not that naive. I understand this has been in the talks for a while now. Once this door opens, it will be very difficult to close. What concerns me the most is the lack of transparency. This proposal mentions potential data centers and cryptocurrency mining, but our community deserves to know what's truly being considered before any steps are taken. Citizens should have clear information about the potential long-term impacts on our water, our infrastructure, the wildlife, our property values, and the families who actually live there and are gonna see this every day. This isn't just about the land. It isn't just about the land. But we live on this land, we have cared for it. My dad, my grandfather have farmed this land for years until they physically couldn't do it anymore. I was married on this land 27 years ago. We just built our dream home 2 years ago on this land. I do not want it to be surrounded by any type of industrial development. That's why we chose to come back to Clyde and build here, because of the community. Not just the community of the city itself, but the county as well. We've supported Clyde through the Friday night football games, the Hallelujah Nights, Pecan Festival, fireworks at the lake, and countless other events because we believe in this town. I am thankful that my grandmother is not here to see this. It would have broken her heart to imagine that the community she loves would even consider taking steps in this direction. I respectfully ask you to slow down, be transparent, give the community the information it deserves. This isn't just a 130-acre lease. You're making a decision that could change our town forever. The future of our families, the legacy that we're leaving behind. I'm asking that you do not let this happen. Thank you.
Dennis Rogers.
Don't go to studying.
Please
Dennis
state
Rogers,
your name and address for the record.
Dennis Rogers, 3535 County Road 275.
Thank you. You have 3 minutes.
And everybody has said everything that I wanted to say except for one thing. When I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning with my first cup of coffee and walk out on the front porch, I don't want to look out there and see that thing, that data center looking back at me. I mean, that's plumb sickening, heartbreaking, and I really don't know why we've even come to this point, other than it's financially motivated. I mean, that's all I got to say. I mean, I'm sorry if I didn't make any sense to you, but that's about it. Essentially sensible as this dumb country boy can put it.
Thank you, Dennis. Cindy Hub.
She'll be right back.
We'll move on. Sam Gadea. Please state your name and address for the record.
Sam Gadea, Abilene, Texas, 1252 Lane Drive.
You have 3 minutes.
I'm here today from Abilene because I moved from Callahan County about 3 years ago, and I've watched our data center in Abilene go from its infancy, 300 acres, and the Chapter 38 agreements and all the abatements. So I wrote this down so I could kind of stay on point. I've continued to become as engaged as possible within the community to educate myself on the concerns we face and the future of our cities. I know I can't stop data centers from coming, and honestly, that's not my goal. I simply hope that if they're coming, we do it with good stewardship of our citizens and our natural resources. I could stand here for hours talking about electric generation, demand, power infrastructure, water consumption, and water challenges our communities already face every single day. Those are important conversations, but what matters even more are the people living through this growth. I see families, including my own, trying to navigate what rapid growth means for the future. I see a community where it once felt like everyone knew everyone, and I see that sense of community slowly fading. I see increased traffic, more heavy trucks on the roads, and I see lives forever changed by tragedies that often accompany rapid development. I'm not here to support or oppose the data center. I'm here to ask for responsible growth. Over the past several months, I've developed a thought, and I can't shake. I've been thinking a lot about the phrase cheap labor and how in many ways it has evolved to what is what I call cheap growth. In the past, cities built wealth by relying on underpaid workers. Today, cities build wealth by relying on underpriced community resources. When a data center is presented to a city council, they are often described as a perfect form of economic development. They place limited demand on schools, require relatively few permanent employees, and generate substantial tax revenue. On paper, it looks like inexpensive growth, but there is one profound and devastating difference in the legacy that's left behind. The past was about building a foundation. When our original cities were built, the hard labor of past generations was poured into creating something that was meant to last. The sweat, the brick and mortar, the factories, and the infrastructure were all designed to lay a foundation for generations to come. It gave the next generation a stepping stone on which to build the future. Today feels different. Using data centers to fund cities today leaves nothing behind for future generations. The growth is a mirage. By the time the city collects the tax revenue and the tech companies move on to the next trend, you're no longer left with the fundamental resources needed to sustain the next generation. When you sell off the town's water and power for quick municipal cash, the next generation, the long-term math simply doesn't work. Once the boom ends and the technology shifts, the town isn't left with an enduring industrial foundation. It is left with a hollowed-out landscape, empty concrete warehouses, depleted aquifers, and polluted lakes. The ultimate irony of this cheap economic growth is what reduces history to decades from now. The legacy leaders approved that these projects won't necessarily be measured by tax revenue. They're generated, but simply by old.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
Cindy back. Cindy Huff. State your name and address for the record, please.
I work there too, at 607 Pleasant Lane, and I'm here tonight as a concerned citizen. The data centers are moving into small towns looking for reliable power and water. Small towns are no match for the multi-billion-dollar tech companies. Small towns all across America who are desperate for growth and economic development are being wined and dined by these companies presented with millions of dollars of potential income. City council and economic development corporations want to get agreements passed as quickly as possible in order to start reaping the benefits. The noise pollution causes real health issues. Dizziness, nausea, vertigo, insomnia, headaches, and anxiety are reported by people living near data centers. Infrasound, a low-frequency rumble that can't be heard by the human ear, is felt by the body as pressure or vibration. Another problem is the high pitch of the noise pollution emitted from the centers also makes it impossible for people to sell their homes because no one wants to hear or feel the noise 24 hours, 7 days a week. And of note, the noise is supposed to extend somewhere between 5 to 10 miles. Water, without it, there is no life. Companies have gone into small towns across America and get the water rights beneath the ground. The water is not only used for cooling, but used for electricity generation on those data centers, campuses that have a power plant. What happens during a drought season? Do residents get access to water, or does the data center? Are data centers considered essential? Will the citizens be told to ration their water usage, which, we already are during drought? Don't water your lawn, don't take a shower, but every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, wash your laundry on certain days of the week. Will data centers be held to the same account? What happens to the city what happens to the water after cycling through a closed loop system? Does anyone know that? How much water do these systems use? Is this proprietary information? Some water gets recycled, evaporates, or it's waste. What impact does this have on the community? NDAs seem to be the standard at the time of agreement between the data center and the small town representatives. Citizens aren't able to get any information about what is truly happening in and to their towns. My question is, have we entered into any kind of agreement with this, whoever this is? What about TIF, what about the TIF loophole, tax increment financing? Please do not sell out your neighbors. Clyde is in debt, but this is not the way out.
Time.
This isn't the way out at all.
Linda Ingram. Oh, right up front.
Yes.
State your name and address for the record.
Linda Ingram, 3860 CR 275.
You have 3 minutes.
Our property borders the potential leased property. It would ruin our lives. I talked with a senior AI supervisor in this area on AI, and he said that this Texas Land Power and Data Company wants to put in a Bitcoin mining data center. That is worse than your traditional data center. They use more heat, they use more electricity, and massive water, because they're so hot mining the Bitcoins. They've got to have massive water to cool it off. So that land has 14 water wells. We're right next door. We have water wells. A lot of people in the area have water wells. With all of the electromagnetic radiation, the high decibels, 80 to 124 decibels at the Eastland Bitcoin thing, and that's the equivalent of running power tools when you're in your bedroom. It's entirely too high. And just damage to livestock, their fertility cycles. Women have high blood pressure, they have their babies too early, have the difficulty in their pregnancies. So the Bitcoin mining is worse than even a regular data center. And so if it goes in, we're going to have to go. My kids won't come, my grandkids won't come. I won't want them to come and be subjected to all of that vibration and noise and pollution and all that. So I'll have to sell my house. Who's going to buy it? Only the data center will buy it. But what do they get? They get my wells. They get everybody's wells around, and they will have a chokehold on Clyde's water. Also, the lease backs up to the sewer plant. When there's a greater demand, where's the sewer plant going to expand? Extra holding tanks or whatever? It is just forcing people out. And so, and then about the tax abatements. Normally they're 10 years tax, normally. So how much is the city of Clyde going to really have? But anyway, I sincerely, respectfully ask you to say no to this lease. This company doesn't care about me or my house or any of the Clyde families or, the increased crime and the trains, more deaths involving trains coming through Clyde. And so we ask that you say no to the lease.
Thank you, Ms. Norma Frazier. Norma, please state your name and address for the record.
Norma Frazier, 3334 County Road 275, Clyde.
Okay, you have 3 minutes.
I have done a little bit of research on these AI plants, and I've come up with a list of some of the things that they're saying are happening to those that live near them. There's water shortages, electricity outages, unbearable noise, health issues, higher crime, damage to roads and bridges, more traffic accidents, cattle stop breeding, chickens stop laying, loss of farm and ranching land, wildlife gone, higher cost of living. The property values have skyrocketed, except those properties that are near the AI plants, which go down. There's a loss of water and underground water table, and I have even second information heard that there's a guy that gauges this between Abilene and Clyde, and he said the table water from the other ones has already gone down 20 feet. And I also go to church with people from Abilene, and they say that the crime is up in their areas. And these are all just to name a few. I'm sure the engineers and experts have probably told the council that data centers are safe and we need them, that they won't use up our water, harm people and animals, and etc. But the truth is, they don't know. No one knows what effect they will have in the short term or in 10, 20, 50, 100 years from now. And it seems no one cares except about the money now. Money is not the answer to everything, and just because you can make money from it doesn't make it the right thing to do. Most of us live here because we want to live in a small, peaceful town, not a city. That's why many live here and work in Abilene. Human beings matter. We have the God-given right to live in peace, have families, make a reasonable living, and worship Him. The mayor and the council's number one job is to protect the people they serve, the ones that have elected them into office. And I know that you're in a tough position, but I'm asking you to please put the safety and well-being and the way of life of the people in our community above the money. Please find another way to get out of debt. And I thank you.
Thank you. All right, so that concludes the public comments, receipt of petitions portion. We will go through and do a couple of items before we move to 8.11. Item 6.0, consent agenda. 6.1, consider and act upon approving minutes from the regular meeting of June 9th, 2026 as printed. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion by Michael Shellhammer. Seconded by Jim. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Seven point oh, public hearings. The City of Clyde will host public hearings on Tuesday, July the 14th, 2026, regarding annexation and a preliminary replat of the following properties into the city limits of Clyde. Item 7.1, annexation of 8 acres out of the northwest 1/4 of Section 75, BB&C Railroad Company Surveys, abstract number 87, Callahan County, Texas, which is 821 Cherry Lane. Kevin, you have any information on that?
I'm gonna let Terry Davis handle this, the Community Development Director.
Yeah, this is the property that we've had several times up here, but we haven't got everything finished yet. But it's the property on Cherry Lane. Matt's actually here tonight if you want to.
You're
Your
little
volume.
They can't hear you. Okay, hear me? Okay. Matt is actually here tonight to answer any questions that y'all might have on it.
Matt, would you mind coming up? Just visit with us for a minute and tell us kind of what your plan is, what you're looking to do.
I do want to say I have nothing to do with the topic you've been talking about.
Smart man.
Yeah, this is 8 acres on Cherry Lane. There's a house on 3/4 of it, 3/4 of an acre, and then so we're wanting to annex this officially, the house, and then the rest of the property comes to 8 acres. We want to, because of the housing demand that has been demonstrated in Clyde, going back to your housing study several years ago, demonstrates that you have a need for quality but affordable rental housing. So we have a multifamily product, a Class A luxury townhome style apartment. We'd like to put in a few units there, kind of test the waters. Our target audience, normally in a town like Clyde, which I'm from, my kids go to school in Callahan County. My wife teaches, they go to school in Callahan County and Cross Plains. My wife teaches at Cross Plains, so I'm not a Disney villain or anything like that. Our target kind of, normally in these towns like Clyde, we have a lot of subsidized housing, and you have a lot of housing that is very, very expensive and not much that targets people in the middle, our law enforcement, our teachers, our nurses, our coaches, that kind of thing. So, so this is rental, rental housing we'll be building. We build this product. We don't build it and sell it. We build and we hold, and we continue to manage the communities that we build for the long haul. So we want to come in and be a neighbor in Clyde. Our company is Trafalgar Homes. We're based in Stephenville. We build all over the state of Texas.
And again, the type of homes you're looking to put in there is townhomes?
Yeah, this is a townhome style apartment, for rent townhome style apartment. Yes, sir. So this isn't a 3-story apartment. This is a mix of single-story and 2-story townhome style units that are going to be a mix of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom. And have some amenities hopefully, and we'll just, like I say, we'll start small and see what the demand, the need actually is here. We're told there's a demand. We like to come in and build in phases and kind of test the waters and see what y'all really need.
Okay. Thank you. Public questions regarding annexation of that property?
Well, I asked one back here. I wanted to know whether it was an HOA. Is it an HOA? Is it gonna be an HOA?
No.
Good question.
Hope not.
We don't recognize HOAs.
Good.
Any further questions?
I'd be curious what is considered affordable housing. I'm
Target
not
rent
against
range?
it. Yeah, like a range. What is affordable housing?
Yes, sir, if you don't mind.
Okay, so we do provide market rate housing. So our housing is based on fair market value. We don't get any subsidies from the government to offset our costs. So I can't tell you, hey, this is exactly what this would cost in Clyde, but I can say typically other places where we are, a 1-bedroom is around $1,000 a month, a 2-bedroom, $1,200 to $1,400, a 3-bedroom, $1,700 or so. So this is new. This is granite countertops. This is a nice product, but of course, the cost of new construction is high, and we are in this to make a living.
And you're talking about foundation home, townhomes, correct? Concrete foundation?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Does that answer your question? Any other questions while he's up here?
Do you work with the VA, and when you work with HUD to work with us?
That would be a great question for our property management. I'm sure they have, ways of meeting the needs of veterans. I'm really not on that part of it. I just get it built.
Okay.
Okay.
Stephen, just briefly, I'm sorry, I'm being a pain. We're talking about annexing this 8 acres in, correct? So that means city services, water, sewer, trash. I assume it also means tax base.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes, we'll be adding to your tax base.
Yeah.
Where exactly is that located, that 8 acres?
North of Whataburger, on the right.
County Road 120
Okay.
and Cherry Lane.
Cherry Lane.
North of Thrifty, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be north of Thrifty?
Yes, north of Thrifty's.
Okay.
Yes. So, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. Moving on to item 7.2, preliminary replat of 8 acres out of the northwest quarter, same property. I think we've kind of answered any questions about the replat and what the property is going to be for. So we'll move on to item 7.3, preliminary replat of 0.9849 acre tract of land situated in section 61 BBB and C Railroad Company Survey, abstract number 34, City of Clyde, Texas, empty lots on Charnel and Marlin. Terry.
So this is some property that Nick Zob used to own, or Nick Zob owns now, but it was sold many years back and it just kind of sat idle. Now we have somebody that wants to come in and plat it. It'd be platted 4 homes. It'd be 6 lots. So it'd be 6 homes, 1 on each lot.
6 lots, 1 home each lot,
Yes.
so 6 homes total,
Right.
which is roughly about 1/6 of an acre
Right.
per home.
So,
And my home is about a third of an acre, so
We're
just a
talking
smaller plot,
contractor
yeah.
on this too. There'll be stick-built homes, so there'll probably be concrete foundations. I don't think he does any pier and beam, most of all it's concrete.
Okay.
Who's the builder?
Cole Newman right now is the builder.
And he is not here tonight, correct? Okay. Any questions about that Terry may be able to answer off of the top of his head? No? Ma'am?
These homes will be sold, not rented?
Do you know?
I'm pretty sure these are gonna be sold. I don't know that Nick really gets into the
Yeah.
rental business too much, but he could hang on to them and rent them out.
All right, moving on. Moving on to why everybody is here tonight primarily. Item 8.11, we are going to fast track that into discussion first. Kevin, you want to give us a rundown of what item 8.11 entails?
Sure. This is for a lease for a company. In order to do due diligence on this property, in order to talk with the electric company, they need to have what they call possession of the land. And so this would give them possession of the land to continue their due diligence. They would not be able to build anything on it. It will still be as agriculture. And so there is a lot of steps that will need to be made, but this is the first step in the process. And council can either approve this lease or they don't have to. It's whatever council wishes to do.
Approve or reject. Okay, so before we really get into council discussion, I would like to first thank everybody. Thank you for speaking. Thank you for being here. Thank you for raising your voices. This is it tickles me to death to see everybody here. It really does. It tickles me to see how important this is to our community. That goes to what makes our community so special. I do want everybody to know that this council was absolutely not going to make this decision without your input. This is transparency. This is what you asked for when you asked all of us to be on council, when you voted us onto council. This is transparency at its finest. We were not going to consider this without putting it out to you and getting your input. When this was brought forward from the company that wants to do it, that's the first thing we told them. You don't need to talk to us. You need to talk to the citizens of Clyde. We're going to do exactly what they want us to do. And we may not be able to hold a formal vote. We may not hold a formal vote. But I do want to acknowledge the voices that have been here tonight and took the courage to speak. It does take a lot of courage. So first off, thank you. The only reason this is considered at all is the tax revenue. The tax revenue is substantial. If we choose not to investigate this, we need to understand as a community that we are not going to get that tax revenue. We need to be okay with that because that debt is still going to lay on our hands. We didn't choose it. We acknowledge that. We didn't choose that debt. But it's ours, and we have to pay it one way or another. My personal thought is, without even going into a whole lot of the details, that we can find other ways of paying that debt, that our community is far more important than the revenue. That's why I moved to Clyde. That's why I asked my mother to move to Clyde. I do see the benefit in the revenue. It will make it a heck of a lot easier to pay down our debt. I'm not a fan of selling our soul to make it happen, though.
Amen.
I will say that this council did not get on Facebook and comment a lot, not because we signed NDAs, because we did not. There has been no agreement made. There were no NDAs signed. This is the first step. What you are seeing here tonight is the first step in the actual process. We were approached. We listened. We decided that this is your decision to make, and that's where we went with it. And so I thank you for being here to let your voices be heard. I do want to make sure that you know what it is that you're asking this council to reject. Okay? So I would like for Kevin to explain some of the benefits so that you have all of the information. We know what the negatives are. Okay? I just want to make sure you have the information. Kevin?
As you alluded to, probably the benefit is the addition to the tax base in the community. That tax base would bring probably a minimum of $5 million a year to the city of Clyde. That is the benefit of that. Without the center coming in and actually doing something, we can still work on our debt. It will not be fun. And taxes, the ad valorem tax will remain probably where it's at, maybe a little bit more, because we do have a lot of debt that the city has accumulated. But the advantage would be the addition of the ad valorem tax, and that's the advantage of it coming here, the one advantage.
So it is, and just to kind of enlighten you, what they are asking for is an air-cooled system, not a water-cooled system. And again, I am telling you what they have said. We've already made the comment that, you know, split-tongued devils, whatever. But what they are offering, what they are presenting is an air-cooled system, not water-cooled. There would be no impact to the water other than bathrooms and sinks, is what they presented.
That's just their foot in.
I'll give everybody time in just a minute, so let me explain what it is. The tax revenue, Kevin is actually on the lighter side. If they put in a $1 billion facility, which is what they are claiming that they want to put in, the tax revenue for the city is $10 million at our current tax rate. It is $100, or $1 for every 100 evaluation. Our current budget is around the 9 million mark. Okay, so that's the obvious benefit. The negatives, obviously, I don't know enough about data centers to trust them personally. I don't know why we need so many of them personally. But again, I don't have a vote. I just want you guys to know what is pressuring on, what is weighing on them tonight. So, with that being said, I will open up the floor for citizen input. And then well, actually, let me do this. You want to do citizen? Yeah. Okay. We'll do citizen input and questions. Yes, ma'am?
My family has lived here for 67 years. All the years that I've lived here, this has been a community, a tight-knit family. We did not have to sit there and sell our souls to dig ourselves out of debt. We worked together as a community. We worked together as a family. We watched each other's backs. There's got to be another way other than that data center that we can pull ourselves out of debt. It may take longer than what we like, but we need to look at other avenues than this one.
Thank you. Jamie, I put you off a minute ago.
Well, no. I really have questions first.
Okay.
That I would like answered before I get to do my public comment. First question, this land is owned by the city, correct?
Correct.
If we go forward, are we selling it,
What
are we
is,
selling it to Texas Land and Power?
what is being proposed tonight, what is
Right,
being
right.
voted on tonight is a short-term lease of 3 months so that both sides can explore their options.
Is there money involved in that lease?
There is. It is a 30,
It is $5,000 a month for 180 days.
6 months.
So it's 6 months lease, so
Okay.
we'd bring the city $30,000.
Okay,
There is no, after that time or before that time, the city could, or the individual or the company could terminate that lease.
which would mean it ends.
It ends.
Okay.
At the end of let's say at the end of 100 days, that lease goes away. If the city wanted to sell that, then there's a lot of stuff that would have to happen. One, we would have to have another meeting to sell it. Also, it would have to be changed out of agriculture to industry. All of that would have to be changed. This 180 days is to give council and citizens more time to actually look at the situation. We would bring in the company, and we would probably have about 3 open meetings, probably at the senior citizens. We would not talk. We would have a forum like this and let you all speak. We'd let them talk about whatever they're gonna bring in here, because I don't have all the details either. There's a lot of education, I think, on all of our parts on what really might or might not come in. So it'd be an opportunity just to explore it. This lease contract obligates the city in no way of selling the land, nor have we made any agreements, any implied agreements, or anything like that this is any more than a 6 months lease for them to do their due diligence and for the city to do their due diligence.
What does their due diligence include? I mean, they're not gonna go out there and start doing,
No,
little
they cannot do
odds and
anything.
ends. Well, who's gonna be
AE
watching that?
the city will watch it, plus 2, it's in our lease agreement. What they need is, in order to talk with the electric company, which is AEP, they have to have what they call possession of the land. And so what AEP is requesting is that they would have a lease in order for them to be able to talk to AEP about the electricity needs that they're gonna need for that facility.
Nothing will actually be going on that land at that
Nothing will be
time.
going on that land.
That's what I'm afraid of, is that they'll get something in there.
No,
you
no
know?
ma'am, they cannot
I
alter
don't
the.
trust any of it.
All right, one at a time, please.
They cannot alter the land, they cannot change the land. It is purely just for
Okay.
getting on there, so might do a survey, but as for building or changing anything, no ma'am. Or digging or anything like that, no ma'am.
Ma'am, right here, you were
The
next.
question is, are they gonna be having trucks and stuff coming in at any time? Because that is
In the-
pretty much a one-lane road, and, you know,
In
and
the
I have to
100
go down that road to get to my house.
In the 180 days, no.
Okay.
All it is for an analysis with the company and AEP. That's all it is. Like I said, there's no trucks, no development, nothing changing on the land. It's just so they can do the analysis and talk to the electric company.
Michael, you had a question?
Yeah, is that land, commercial, residential,
It is currently zoned agriculture.
Okay, can it be
It would
agricultural instead of, commercial for that AI?
No, they cannot build on agriculture.
Then why
Land.
can't it just stay as agricultural?
It can.
If nothing happens, it will stay as agriculture. If something does develop on that land, let's say, it does, it would have to come once again before council, and they would have to change, we'd have to have a public hearing again, and we would have to change that from agriculture to commercial or whatever, industrial, however our
So
code
what if
reads.
some rancher wants to lease that land and put some cattle out there? Can he
It's
do it?
agriculture, then he can do that. Actually, there are some cattle out there now.
No, okay. I was driving by there because I was taking films of a deer that,
Yeah.
dog escaped from a
Mama
It is,
kinda captured.
yeah, it is currently zoned agriculture, so nothing can really be built on that land.
But I didn't see no cow out there.
Okay. Mary Lou.
I see a lot of brush.
All right. Mary Lou.
Okay, Stephen, what kind of power lines are we talking? Because a lot of this stuff, they like the big power lines. You're not talking what we've got right now. You're talking big.
The discussion with the electric company is to get a substation put out there. So. Yes, ma'am, back here.
So my question is Governor Greg Abbott just called for a ban on data centers in both rural and residential areas. If the man who knows all the information about the data centers, who is behind the data centers coming in to begin with, is now calling a ban, why would we want to move forward?
And let me answer that one real quick. I don't know what his personal opinion is, because that's a political ploy right now. The other lady's offering $1,500 to everybody to buy votes. Right now, I don't put a whole lot of stock into what they're gonna say or throw out there. But I do understand exactly that statement, because I wondered the exact same thing myself. Yes, sir.
The lady over there had her hand up first. I'm sorry.
I think she did.
Look at this. This is Clyde right here, let me tell you. Yes, ma'am.
It seems like the most immediate motivation for this is paying off a debt. I guess maybe everybody else here knows how much that is. What's the debt?
$44 million, I believe, roughly,
I guess I would.
is what our debt load is. And again, I will point out that we're trying to correct a problem we didn't make, we know that, but
It ain't our fault in the country either.
it's also agreed.
Yeah, it's not our fault that y'all are in debt and y'all gonna move it out to our country.
Okay.
That's right.
We are in debt. The city of Clyde, the entire city, everybody in the city of Clyde has that debt.
We're not in the city,
We're not in the city, we're in the county.
One at a time, please.
Oh, he did. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, sorry.
I live on 527, which is the other road.
Yes, ma'am.
It's on the, I guess you'd call it the
The east
backside
side.
of the.
Yes, ma'am.
And I guess I'm the only one here that lives on 527, but there's not very much, like 8 houses. But the effect would be the same.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just kind of wanted to represent my road.
Yes, ma'am.
So my question is, what is the point of starting with the lease? What does that accomplish if we're not going to move forward?
It's strictly an exploratory period so that they can tell you what they are wanting to do and make sure that they have your support to do it. That is the purpose of the lease, period. So, does that answer your question? You're still looking,
Kind of.
They're paying this-
That's their side of it, but what does it do for us?
we get
Other than we
$30,000 out of it, that's it.
The 30,000 is not gonna make that big of a dip in the 44 million. So
Correct.
what are we getting out of it?
That's what we get out of it,
So nothing.
$30,000.
It's the camel
I know,
nose
that
under the
everybody,
tent.
please, we want to have this done this way so everybody can have a voice. But there are so many people here, if we get to where we're talking over each other, we are not going to be able to have good interaction. So please, one at a time. Yes, ma'am.
If we don't want this, then why are we even talking about doing a lease?
Good question.
It's part of, it's part of the process. They came to us with, they wanted to explore this. And so we brought this to council and we brought it to you so you could have your voice heard and so that council could hear your opinion on what you wanted to happen in Clyde. This is the transparency and the openness of government in its true form, is that the citizens, look at how many people are here. I wish everybody was here for every single meeting that we had at council and it was this much everything was important as this was, because this is the transparency and openness of council to allow the citizens to have their voice and talk to council about what they want. And so I want to thank everybody here for coming out and talking about this issue and letting council know how you feel as being residents of Clyde.
Guys, the other side of that is we, as a council, are not going to go to vote for it or against it without your approval, without your input, because that is a tremendous amount of money that we would be saying no to. And it may have turned out that you guys are all in favor of it, and we just don't know unless we have this type of a meeting, okay? I do want to get Dwayne first, and then I'll come around this way, and then Sam, I'll come back to you.
All right, on the lease part, y'all, I've heard y'all say that it's just for them to go out there and look at the land and see what it's gonna take. It's all oversight, okay? And we do not have to agree to sell the land after the lease. So, myself personally, if y'all guarantee we're not gonna sell the land because y'all heard Clyde say no, I say, take the free money, put it toward the 44 million we owe, and tell them to kick rocks.
Also, Barry Clyde, I'll be back to you in just a minute. I'm going to come right around this way, so yes, ma'am. Camille?
Okay. I've been to a lot of meetings, and I know y'all are new, but in the past, things have been brought to council, and we get to say what we want to say, and nothing changes.
Yes, ma'am.
It's usually decided by y'all, and didn't matter what we said, what we brought up, or the situation. So it kind of gives the cause to want to know does our voice really get heard? Are we actually getting an input? Because I've been here for several, I won't say every one, but I've been here to a lot of meetings for different problems, the water situation before this even came in. And my trust level is down.
Yes, ma'am.
And especially, I know y'all are not all the same people, but it's really hard to get that, that this isn't gonna proceed no matter what we say.
I can tell you with 100% certainty, this council is hearing every word you're saying. 100% certainty. The reason they are all sitting up here today is because you put them in this spot for that reason. So they are hearing what you're saying. Yes, sir.
One thing I'd like to bring up of all these AI places, nobody's come forward and say, hey, it was great. Nobody's done that.
Yes, sir.
On Facebook, there's nobody out there. Everybody has turned it down and doesn't want it.
Yes, sir. That's a good point. I'm going to come right over here, ma'am, first, and then...
I would just like you to send them a letter saying, thank you for thinking of Clyde America, but no.
I like the tact. Yes, sir.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yes, sir.
I let a lot of people go. It's my turn.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to ask was, you said that possibly a $5 million annual boost in revenue, tax revenue, yes?
Yes, sir.
Just out of curiosity, how big of a chunk is that of the annual budget for Clyde?
Annual budget for Clyde is right about $9 million.
So it's a substantial chunk of money.
Right now, you look at right now on ad valorem tax, we get about $2 million, and that's with the M&O and the INS. The M&O, which is the daily functions of City Hall, which is just turning on the lights and paying the city secretary and paying me, we bring in about $800,000. And then the 1.2 million is actually in the interest and sinking fund, which pays part of the debt, the COs. There are also debt that we have on the enterprise funds as well that is paid by fees in the water bills. So totally, we pay roughly, what is it, $2.4 million a year, $2.5 million a year.
Yeah, it's about 2.6. Right
$2.6 million a year in debt, just to give you a rough example.
Okay, well, I'll add that, I think somebody else made the point, that yes, the money looks good, but we shouldn't sell our soul to the devil for this. And I don't disagree that we need to find some way of generating tax base. I know that there's a lot of subdivisions going on south of Abilene. You know, I'm sure that would generate a substantial amount of tax base also. One thing I did want to mention too is I would be very cautious with the data center from a legal standpoint. I mean, I know the city's very cautious, but they got bigger pockets than we do.
Amen.
They got higher priced lawyers than we do.
Amen.
So I would be very cautious every step of the way, and monitor heavily what they're doing. I know that, you know, this lease is a feasibility time frame, but they wouldn't be going this far if they didn't know it was feasible. This is just a legal step to do it. So, you know, I just wanna, although I can see where you guys will be optimistic about the $5 million a year. It's just, still with all the other concerns that have been addressed in this room, I think it's a good decision.
Yes, sir. Ma'am, I know you've been waiting.
Yes, so I was just going to ask, I know that y'all mentioned AEP, but what is the AI company that is wanting to come in?
So the developer is the, what is the name of that? Texas Land and Data,
Texas
or
Land and
whatever.
Power.
Texas Land and Power?
Also
Texas
internet.
Land, Power and Data?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
That is the developer. We don't know the company, the entity, the data mining company.
So
They
there's
would
no-
outsource, they would basically bring them in.
So there's no way to do any research on them until they bring them in, correct? So you can't look back on anything that they've done, you can't look
Well,
back
that's-
on lawsuits?
That's kind of what this 180-day lease was for, is that we could do that due diligence because we do not have that. We have not gone forward with this. We really are at the infancy stage. And this is, once again, we're not gonna spend a bunch of time on this if council doesn't vote for it. And so that 180 days was to inform us, inform council, and inform you on all of these questions that you have. A lot of those we don't have the answer for. And so that was another reason for the 180 days.
Okay, so
All right.
there's literally no way to know.
So-
Not at this time, no.
Sam?
I just want to make an observation because I've been to all of Abilene city councils for 2 years. San Angelo, Lubbock next week, Shackelford. I have not seen one that is as transparent as they are being today. We got this sprung on us 2 years after pretty much, it got approved on the county. And then it went through DCOA and a Chapter 3, and it started out at 300 acres for Bitcoin mining and then expanded to what it is now. But I've been to a lot of these and I have not seen one single one that is being as transparent as they are today. I mean, you don't see this. Thank you for answering questions on Facebook, but I'm just want y'all to, you don't see this.
Let me get this gentleman right here. He's been waiting a long time.
There was a lot of applause for taking the money, the $30,000, and then telling them have a good day. But they know the formula of how this works, and so they're coming in with, here's $30,000. We just want to see how it goes. That's step one. So my opinion is to strongly reject even this $30,000 lease agreement.
Ma'am? Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a question. I have a statement.
Okay.
I lived here in '87, long time ago, because my husband, I got married, moved to Clyde, I raised my family here. I lost my daughter here. This town is heart. And you're talking about pocketbook. I don't like that feeling. It is ugly. I stayed in Clyde because the heart that was given to my family when I lost my daughter. This is not what I stayed for. This is not what I want to raise my family. my grandkids in that environment. I just don't want it. This is not the Clyde I know. If you bring in the data center or the Bitcoin, we lose that. We are not Clyde, America anymore. We are Clyde, just Clyde in Texas. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am. I prefer to hear us called Clyde, Texas, because I'm more proud of being a Texan than I am here. But yes, I agree with you. Yes, ma'am.
Is unique anymore.
Yes, ma'am.
We could just be another town in the state of Texas with a data center that we don't want.
Yes, ma'am. I agree. I need to get Mary Jo. Mary Lou, I'm sorry.
Is there anyone on the city council that would want this in their backyard? Is anyone up there sitting to be ready to put this in your backyard?
Well, they can't answer that question yet, but they will. I'm gonna go right over here.
Thank you, sir. There are so many known negative effects, both health and environmental effects, that honestly, I wonder why this is even a conversation. I have family that lives in Hamby, and I go into Abilene with my 3 grandchildren to go around to their house because the traffic is so incredibly dangerous. Where are we going to go from that? There is nowhere to go. And with all of the negatives that are associated with these AI centers, the money is insignificant. I know it's a significant amount that is owed by this community, but it is not worth having that to get that money. They're gonna come and they're gonna paint a pretty picture of how wonderful it'll be, and we'll be left living with those awful side effects. I've already wondered, where can we go? Where can we go if it gets here? It's all over Texas. I just would love for y'all to say no. No, thank you, we'll find a way.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
So I actually graduated from Clyde, moved away, lived in Austin for a bit, and moved back because we wanted that small town feel. Our whole lives renting. We just bought our house 2 years ago. We live on 527, and that I see immediately would be like a highway for those 18-wheelers to come on into that area. And I have children. I have deer in my backyard. Those will be gone within months. I also have an apiary of bees, and I can tell you with the research right now, it shows that it would drive my bees away immediately as well.
Yes.
So I would be concerned for my business, for my home, for my kids, for being able to cross the street without getting hit by a truck, all of it.
Yes, ma'am. Lenny?
$30,000 is nothing to us when we owe all these billions that we owe. We'll find a way. We'll find a way.
Okay, thank you. I'll get back to you in a second, Ollie. Jeff?
Yeah, I saw that guy on the video, so I know he's traveling all over the place that I've been doing my research on. I would ask that if the council is gonna do their due diligence, that you look into the air-cooled system that they mentioned. From what I'm seeing, most of those are failing. They're not working like they're telling you they're working. And then what happens is, because, as that gentleman over there said, those guys' pocketbooks are so big that whenever it fails and they go to a water system and they use water or they breach the contract, you hit them with that regulatory fine or whatever it is that you're hitting them with, and they pay it easier than some of us can pay our water bills around here. They're not worried about it. They're just gonna slap the money down and keep breaking the rules, and whether it affects our land and our livestock and our children, doesn't matter to them. It's a money game. So I would pray that when you do your due diligence, you do the research on the air-cooled systems, this substation, everything that's coming into this. Please, please, please research it hardcore, because I don't think it's right.
I'm gonna take 3 more, and then we'll move on, unless there's any opposing views that want to be spoken. Jamie?
Can I have my 3 minutes now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I wanted to wait.
I know.
I wanted to wait because I wanted to hear what you all had to say first. We have to have information to comment on information.
Yes, ma'am.
So I want to start off by saying I appreciate this. I appreciate this process. I appreciate the fact that you allowed public comments after, so because oftentimes we're brought in and public comments are in the beginning of the meeting and we have nothing, all we can say is we're against it. I'm probably gonna be unpopular here, so please don't lynch me on my way out. But if what we are talking about tonight is simply a 180-day lease, a 6-month lease for $30,000, and it's exploratory, I personally don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with it because, A, we can make some money and kick rocks, tell them to kick rocks, but also I think that, and I hate to be, I have been very vocal about our taxes. I have been very vocal about our water bills. And unfortunately, I feel horrible for those of you who live in the county, but the city of Clyde, our citizens are on the hook for all this money. So I think that it is okay to do a 180-day lease and do the due diligence. What I would hope, kind of like Jeff said, this lease needs to be ironclad. I think we need better than our city attorney. I think we need multiple people looking at it and making it ironclad, because we don't need any loopholes. They have the money. They do have the money. So we don't need to give them any opportunity for any loopholes. I think that if they do the due diligence and we do the due diligence, I think that if this does ever go through, we need smart people. We need a team of ridiculously smart people to make sure that whatever contract we do get with this is absolutely ironclad. Because I agree with everybody here. If you ask me if I want a data center, my answer is absolutely not. And for all the same reasons that Mr. Rogers, when the guy that said he didn't want to drink coffee, and look at that, 100% I don't want to look at it either. I like to drink my coffee outside too. So I would just ask, I appreciate that y'all are doing this process. I appreciate that this is the first step, and I can be okay with the first step, but I don't have to be okay with the next step. And I think that's the part that I think that y'all are working on, and I appreciate that. I would just ask that we do more than just the city attorney. I don't have a lot of faith in her from past experiences, so I think that we need multiple attorneys, we need multiple smart people, we need plans, we need to see if this is going to happen, it has to happen better than everything else that has happened in the past. Because all the bad things that have happened in the past are because everybody that sat in your seats did not do the right things. They were not smart enough to admit that they didn't know what they were doing, and they made bad decisions. And we're all paying the price for that. Every single one of us that live inside the city are paying that price.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. I'm going to take, Mary Jo has not spoken yet. So Mary Jo.
Okay, so I am Mr. Rogers' daughter. Denise is my sister. We live right there across the street. Just built a house also. 180 days. Our property values are dropping by the minute at this point. Soon as people know that this is an issue, our land is going to nothing. So what's going to keep us from selling out now? AI, people are going to buy it because nobody else is going to want to live across the street from it. And you're looking at how many of my neighbors would sell, because honestly, none of us want this as our yard. So you're going to not just lose however much you are going to get, but all of the residents around the area. Like
We would
within,
have to consider it.
yeah, I mean, you almost have to sell before your property's not worth anything, because once they're there, nobody will buy it at all. So like, as you guys are deciding 180 days, well, we're thinking, okay, well, we've got to sell before anybody else finds out that AI's moving in now. So, yeah, just another thought.
I'm going to take these two ladies right here.
Okay. The lawyers that Texas Land, Power, and Data use are the finest in the country. They've got every detail down to a T. I mean, they'll try to sneak everything out, and I think it's not good that they haven't told us who represents them. Is it Google, OpenAI, Oracle? Yeah. So, their documents. I'm a lawyer. I don't practice much anymore, but I delivered that letter to you today.
Okay.
The lease is, you can't deal with those lawyers. They know every single detail. They use the finest $1,000 an hour lawyers or more to do it. And so, you know, just, it's a dangerous thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Me?
Final. Yes, ma'am.
Me? I just want to say kind of what your dad would have told you. I'm trying to do it. Stephen's dad
She's
would
pulling
have,
out the low blows.
his dad would have said, don't do the dance if you can't pay the piper. And what he meant by that, some things are just not worth the risk. This is not worth the risk. We saw the risk happen at the sports complex. We saw the road that took us down. Very bad road. We're still paying for that. Yeah, we may get 30,000, but we may spend 3 million getting out of the lease for the 30,000.
There you go, you need to
So
let your
I
bark.
say no. I say no.
Okay, thank you. Everybody, thank you for expressing your voices.
Yeah. Can I say
Riz?
something real quick?
I don't know.
I don't know if I should, but many of y'all don't know me. My name's Chris Barnett. I'm the Public Affairs Officer for the City of Clyde. It's a newly positioned about 2 months ago. I just want to speak on the transparency portion. Okay, my job is to make sure that the city is transparent with all of you. Okay, in the past 2 months, we have been striving forward to better that. You know, the only thing that I would ask is if you have questions, call the city, ask the city. You know, they have put me in a position of 1,000% transparency. They want to be open as a book, like this gentleman said. If you look at Abilene, if you look at Lubbock, if you look at Houston, you look at Austin, you look at the Metroplex, you look at all these places, they dropped the bomb on them and they moved in quick, all right? They are presenting all the information for you to have your opinions heard. So not only are they going the extra step, but they put somebody in that position to make sure that the community is being heard and that we, as a city government, are letting y'all know what's going on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to open it up for council discussion. Bo?
So, you know, one thing I've seen in this meeting tonight is an outpouring of support for our community. And, you know, the transparency in this process is extremely important. I mean, it's everything. And that's something we want to do that's different than what you may see in other cities. But I was just watching videos about another city here in Texas and how things were going there. About 87 acres that was you know, basically given to the city, and how they decided to turn that into a data center in the way they've been treating their citizens, and I don't like it. You know, and I'm going to start with a great question. I think it was from Sam on the Facebook group. If the due diligence ultimately results in a data center proposal, does Clyde's existing water system, including these planned improvements, have sufficient long-term capacity to serve both current residents and a future industrial user without relying or requiring additional infrastructure or affecting service reliability? The short answer to that is yes. Long answer is a little more complicated. Because the property is near to the water plants and the wastewater plant, you know, the expansion of the distribution system, the regular water system is not a concern. The water treatment plant has a peak capacity of 2 million gallons a day. It could require us, however, to use more Abilene treated water during droughts, which would increase the city's costs. Bear in mind that our commercial rates for the highest consumption tier is very expensive. I mean, we're looking at the commercial rate is, for the highest tier, is $14.25 for every 1,000 gallons. That's $4.25 higher than the residential rate. You know, and here's kind of my concern, and I'm just giving you all the information about what could happen. If they were to build just outside the city, then it's almost assured that the city will still be selling them water. Because we have 40-year contracts, contractual obligations. In addition, if that were to happen, we could not charge them individually for their specific usage, and instead would be billing the current contractual rate for the entire Water Supply Corporation purchase. The project CEO has stated that he'll be using a refrigerated cooling system. CEO John Chambers is not here tonight, and I really wish he were here to answer some of those questions directly, especially since he took the time to meet with us. However, what was said was in what actually happens can be two entire different things. He could be blowing smoke up our behinds. It's always best to be prepared for the worst case scenario. I'm saying it's not because I will or will not fight the data center. The aim is to be informed and to see this several moves ahead. The city has expanded powers to regulate, whereas the county has almost no ability to do so whatsoever. The city will also lose out what is potentially over $1 billion in taxable business property. Dilapidated streets, falling apart water and sewer infrastructure, and the irresponsible amount of debt, absurd utility and tax rates, and to top it off, 815 million gallons a year of water we own in Lake Port Phantom that we cannot even access. There are a lot of things that revenue would solve. Now here's the thing, the easy choice here is to tell them to move along, go get. And I'm perfectly happy with doing, things as we have been doing, working solutions to gradually get Clyde out of this mess and make it a better place to live. Our new city administrator, our city secretary, department heads, city employees, and this council and mayor are, in my view, working hard to rectify the past and make us a lot stronger of a city for the future. Then, kind of all of a sudden, this developer from a year and a half ago returns from the dead to drop this on our lap and put us in this juncture. You know what they are? They're a giant cash volcano. But who wants to live near a volcano? Yeah, I certainly wouldn't. As with, you mentioned back there, walking outside and having your cup of coffee. Who wants to have a giant humming monolith looming over their property and washed with lights at night? The problem is, the answer isn't a simple no. Isn't as simple as no. And they go way off into the sunset. That's the dilemma I'm looking at. And it's obvious to me we need a town hall and that the Texas Land Data and Power officers need to be there. Hard questions need to be asked. Real answers need to be given. And then, if they're still serious, a regulatory framework needs to be discussed and created. That's considering that they receive any support from this council to make it that far. For the time being, I'm not going to support anything that commits a city council to a binding sale. As for a temporary lease, I'll see what my colleagues on the council think. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Bill. Michael?
First off, I'd like to start off by thanking everybody for showing up. It means a lot to actually see the citizens, the residents of the area come together. In my job, outside of here, I deal with the data centers on a daily basis. For those that don't know, I work for TxDOT, and it's crazy. I don't want something like that in my neighborhood.
Jim?
I can see both sides, and I've listened to y'all. I've listened to some of the other ones. Bo, I really appreciated some of the things you said, because the citizens of Clyde, I know I hear a lot of wants about roads and infrastructure and pipelines and things like that. With the data center, we could have the roads redone. We could have the infrastructure redone. We could have that pipeline, and we wouldn't have the problems with water that we sometimes have. But I also see the problems that it's gonna cause. And like Bo says, we're kind of in a dilemma here. I'm hoping that during this 6-month period that y'all can meet with the power company and get them to give us some answers to some of the questions that I wrote down that you had, that I have. And I'm sure there's some of y'all out there that didn't get to talk and you have some more questions. So that would give us an opportunity to meet with them and express, again, your wants, your needs, your desires with them. I think the 6-month deal is a good deal and give us an opportunity to listen to get more information.
Please.
And the citizens of Clyde, remember that if we don't do this, that we're gonna be leaving $5 to $10 million a year on the table.
We'll keep our lives.
Guys, please, please. Amy?
Yes. I tell you what, I've read more stuff about, in the last few weeks, about these AI than I probably did my whole education. I was reading several documents. I read a 42-page document talking about all the negative, and I read another one much shorter on the pros. I actually heard, it's just hearsay, I don't know, but I just heard that the inventors of the AI, the very first ones, are actually asking everybody to back off on these, that they're getting way too many. We're getting way too high in the AI. One thing that I didn't hear today that I've been really concerned about is the electricity. Because these data centers, Bitcoin miners, whatever AI, they run constantly. They never stop. So it's not like our houses where you have your high energy and your low when you're sleeping or whatever. They run, it's like your home computer. You leave your home computer on, it runs constantly. They actually said in the document that they use enough in one day to power 1,000 homes. And that's horrible. That alone frightened me. So, you know, I'm once again, like everybody else, I'm very proud of all y'all for being here. I appreciate y'all coming and, you know, letting us know your concerns. I don't want a data center in our Clyde.
David?
You know, I came in here today pretty conflicted. I really did. I don't really care to have a data center in my backyard. But the city is in debt. We are in a bind. And at $5 to $10 million tax base a year is tempting, right? It helps buy out of debt. However, thank y'all for showing up today. I really was on the fence. But I want you to know, your voices have been heard. The impact has been felt. And just thank you so much.
Before we move on to possible action, I would just like to say that I personally have faith in the people that we have put in place to dig us out of this mess without taking on such immense questions. I personally don't feel like we want a data center. I don't feel like we need a data center. I feel like it would change who we are in a way that I don't want to see. I do want to take a minute to address the young lady that was married on the land out there. One of the things I was sitting here thinking while everybody was talking was, you know, the originators of the property coming to the city of Clyde, is this what they would have wanted that property used for? I would also say, recently, another option has been brought forward with a potential buyer, and I don't think this is our only solution out of this mess. And so with that, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to deny the lease agreement and that we repost that property for sale by sealed bid as soon as possible.
I'll second that.
Motion to deny by David Mann, seconded by Michael Shellhammer. All in favor of denying? All opposed? Passes unanimously to reject.
Yes.
Kevin, I'm sorry. I know we are putting a lot on you, but I know you can get us out of this mess.
Doesn't bother me.
Can I ask one question?
Yes,
Does
ma'am.
that mean the data center question is out now? I mean,
That we have no further discussion about a data center in Clyde. And with that being resolved, I will give us a pause for about 5 minutes to give those that are not interested in watching the rest of the meeting time to vacate. Just please do so quickly.
Stay if you want to.
Long time.
Give a sealed bid, just like
You're trying to do that to me for years.
My son JJ, he's also a part of it. Hey, there you go.
So what's kind of iffy with my youngest man? He's got a. I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm not even gonna set it. You're down there, right?
There you go.
I think so. Welcome very much. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Absolutely.
But you know what, everybody's view does, I think makes a difference.
Come in here with a loaded book. I know y'all come in with a loaded book.
Thanks so much for coming out. I think it made all the difference.
it's owned agriculture. He's still on. We're still on the zone. They changed the zoning without it's owned agriculture.
Appreciate it.
Somebody else come in and buy it and then turn around and sell it to them. No, it can't happen.
Like I say, I don't know.
It's just process, yeah.
So I tried them a little bit.
Oh, good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's good you're here. Yes, sir. I agree. I'm Levi. Steve. Yes, sir. I know. The break and all of that. We needed it.
Lenny, do you remember me? Darn, That's so familiar. I do that all the time. I don't know. My younger daughter lives in Albany. You're so rude, and I'm so right by your house when I'm going.
Sam, thank you for coming.
And I think about
You don't realize every data center in Texas affects every city. Y'all feel the effects of Abilene? And it's hard. That economic stimulus, that economic boost is needed. Abilene just got 21 million. 10 of it's going back to paid firemen's, underfunded firemen's fund. So we only get 11. And you can't even spend it because we don't know if we're going to get it next year. You can have a one-time purchase. It's just,
You've done that before.
A little bit.
twice maybe, but no, it's.
You've spoken in front of people.
It is. It's a decision for y'all. I mean, I'm not against the data center. I'm just the responsible
Tell them to give us a
data center, and because it does bring in a lot of revenue. Brings in, so sex brings in citizens. Y'all are filling the circle. And Abilene who can't afford it. And
That worries me.
y'all could, it's what's going on here every day. I have to focus on development, housing, see it. Appreciate you, Steve.
I appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
We're just gonna throw this away.
Okay. Round them up.
Kevin and Felix, Bosenbaum.
Oh, Jim.
Good to see
You too. You too. Oh.
Doing all right?
I am.
Signed a resolution.
Water bottles.
What else can we do? Yes. Glad you came.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Yeah, there's plenty of
That's right.
Terrific and cold in here.
It did get cold all of a sudden. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lenny.
Thank you. Thank you.
You gonna go?
I'm grateful for each and every one of you.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, Lenny.
All right, the time is now 7:53. Where is Kevin? I thought he was here.
I thought he was too.
He's right here.
Oh,
You're so worried about getting me in here.
yeah. All right, now that all parties are present, the time is 7:53. We do have a quorum present. We will resume the remainder of this meeting at this time. Item 8.1, consider with possible action approving the annexation service agreement with Clyde TH LLC, which is the 821 Cherry Lane property. I'll open this for council discussion. David?
I have no question.
Amy?
No, sir, nothing.
Jim? Good. Michael?
No, sir.
Vote. At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve as written.
Motion to approve by David Mann,
I'll second.
seconded by Amy Jolly. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Item 8.2, consider with possible action to adopt an ordinance annexing property described as 8 acres out of the northwest quarter of Section 75 BBB and C, Railroad Company Surveys, abstract number 87 to the City of Clyde, extending the boundary limits of said city to include said property within said city limits, and granting to all the inhabitants of said property all the rights and privileges of other citizens, and binding said inhabitants by all of the acts, ordinances, resolutions, and regulations of said city. That's being, again, 821 Cherry Lane. Open it for council discussion. Vote.
Well, I looked at them on their website of what they have in Stephenville, and they look really nice. And I think they'd be a great addition to the city of Clyde.
Michael?
No, sir.
Jim? Amy?
I like the idea of them. They look good.
No concerns. No concerns. At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve as written.
Motion to approve as written by Amy Jolly, very smart to say it that way. Seconded by Jim Rector. All in favor? And all opposed? Passes unanimously. Item 8.3, consider with possible action approving the preliminary replat of 8 acres out of the northwest quarter section 75 BB and C Railroad Company Surveys, abstract number 87, 821 Cherry Lane. David? Question?
Good. No, sir.
Amy?
No, sir.
Jim? Michael? Vote.
No, sir.
This time I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the preliminary replat of the 8 acres.
Motion to approve by Bo Davidson.
Second.
Seconded by Michael Shellhammer. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Agenda item 8.4, consider with possible action approving the preliminary replat of 0.9849 acre tract of land situated in section 61 BBB and C Railroad Company Survey, abstract number 34, City of Clyde, Callahan County, Texas, the empty lots on Charnel and Marlin. This is Nick, correct? Okay. David, any questions?
No, sir.
Amy?
No.
Jim? No. Mike?
No.
Vote. This time I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve as written.
Motion to approve by Michael Shellhammer.
I second it.
Seconded by Bo Davidson. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Agenda item 8.5, consider with possible action to approve the application affidavit for financial assistance from the Texas Water Development Board. Kevin?
Item 8.5, 8.6, and 8.7 are all related. These all have to do with a grant that the city wants to put in or apply for with the Texas Water Development Board. It is for 100% grant funding, which means the city has to pay zero, and you can get up to $10 million. And we have found or we have worked on different projects within the city for that amount of money. Construction of a new 500,000 gallon ground storage tank at the Abilene Pump Station west of Clyde, the installation of a water bypass line west of Hayes Road, expansion of pumping capacity at the Abilene Pump Station, and the replacement of existing water lines from the water treatment plant up Stevens Street to the Public Works facility. And if there's still additional funding, we will bring it as far as we can into the city. But those are the 4 projects that we're putting in for that $10 million. We will see what happens. We may not get it, but it's better to ask and been told no than not ask at all. So the next three items, 8.5, 8.6, or 8.7, is the requirements in order for our engineers, Jacob and Martin, to help us with applying for that grant.
Okay. Bo, any questions, comments?
No, I'm good.
Michael?
No, sir.
Jim?
I think this is a good idea.
Amy?
Fantastic idea.
David?
All for it.
Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve as written.
Motion to approve as written by David Mann,
I'll second that.
seconded by Michael Shellhammer. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Agenda item 8.6, consider with possible action to adopt the resolution by the Council of the City of Clyde requesting financial participation from the Texas Water Development Board, authorizing the city secretary to sign the filing of an application for financial participation and making certain findings in connection therewith. David, any questions about that portion?
No, sir.
Amy?
No.
Jim?
No, sir.
Michael? Bo? Okay, at this time, I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we approve as written.
Motion to approve as written by Jim Rector,
Second.
seconded by David Mann. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Item 8.7, consider with possible action to adopt the resolution to approve and authorize an application to be filed with the Texas Water Development Board seeking financial assistance in an amount not to exceed $10 million to provide for the costs of water system improvements. Bo, do you have any questions? Michael? Good? Amy?
No.
David? At this point, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve as written.
Motion to approve as written
I second that.
by Michael Shellhammer, seconded by Bo Davidson. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Agenda item 8.8, consider with possible action updating signature cards and accounts at First Financial Bank. Kevin?
Yes, we have hired a new finance director, Debbie Jennings. She is back there. She will be helping me with the budget and all the finances. We need to get her on the signature card so we can continue that. We will be working on upgrading our internal controls where we will have dual authorization for any payments that go out. If she puts in the ACH, somebody else has to approve it. So it's just a separation of duties. So that will allow her to help us with the internal controls. Also, the bank has numerous accounts. They also have numerous people that are no longer on council or with the city that we need to remove. And they have asked me for council to specifically say who is on the signature card. That is at the bank's request. Just so there's no guessing on that, and we can clean up the bank cards, and then also do some consolidating of the bank accounts that we have to a pooled cash system.
Okay. David?
Yeah, my only thought on this is I would see it as being beneficial to leave the city secretary on the signature cards, just as a continuation of governance. And also maybe still visibility of the bank accounts as they go forward. Just again, second line of communication and governance continuity.
Okay.
That's my two concerns on it.
So as part of the motion, we will need to stipulate who the signatories are on the bank accounts as part of that motion.
Correct.
So, Amy?
I had the same issue. I think we should leave the city secretary on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jim?
I agree. I think the city secretary is a part of
Council.
the process.
Okay. Michael?
No, I knew that.
Bo? Okay. At this time, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve as written with the following changes by adding City Secretary Connie Thornton, Mayor Stephen Steele, Mayor Pro Tem David Mann, City Administrator Kevin Rule, and Finance Director Debbie Jennings. And to authorize the City Administrator and Finance Director to execute any documents required by First Financial Bank to close old accounts or open new accounts for full cash.
I second that.
And I may not have read that wrong. I got it on the wrong paragraph.
You did okay.
I thought that was pretty impressive, David. But that's just me.
Every now and then.
All right, all in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Agenda item 8.9, consider with possible action approving a contract with County Waste Service for solid waste collection. Vote?
I really like what you've negotiated this to. It is going to help us a lot. It's also going to help us to be able to make all our August 1st debt payment. And it's going to save us a lot of headache in the future that's going to come up in the next few years, especially with maintaining all the trucks. And so, I was just talking to a lady in the hallway who worked for CWS, and apparently they are very good at customer service. They're the type of company that if we have any issues, one of our citizens has issues, we can we can pull up the phone and call the owner directly. And so I think it's, I'm going for it.
Michael?
I don't have anything.
Jim? Amy?
I am all for it. I have heard the customer service is amazing. We'll have direct lines, and it'll take a lot off of our city trash debt, so.
I like the contract as a whole. I did have two concerns, and Kevin kind of addressed one of them with me today. One of my concerns, pretty simple, is the automatic renewal at 5 years. The simple fact of the matter is none of us may be here in 5 years, right? So some of that stuff's always kind of hard to keep up with, but I do understand that's pretty boilerplate nowadays with contracts, so not a deal breaker. The only other issue I really had was the exclusivity of the roll-offs for construction and demolition. And we know with all the activity right now, especially with the AI centers and everything else, you guys are running 100 miles an hour. But as a contractor, time is of the essence sometimes. So my question is, and you guys may be able to answer it for me.
If y'all don't mind stepping up here for us, please.
If a contractor calls and says, hey, I've got to have a roll-off Friday, you say, man, I'm all out of that size, I can't do it. What's the solution to that?
Sure,
issue?
absolutely. First of all, Mr. Mayor, Council, City of Clyde, thank you for having us here to me. It was a wonderful meeting. I thought everybody came tonight to hear me speak. I woke up and 200 people are missing, so maybe their anticipation. So part of those things in those contracts is it's partnership, right? So exclusivity, to address that, means what we do is we come in and we negotiate a lower rate. We have to be able to make that up somewhere. So to be able to do that. Now, your concern is valid. And what I will tell you there is we are the largest private roll-off company in West Texas. I mean, we are. We have a tremendous amount of assets. We do some sites, we'll do 60 roll-offs a day. But to answer your concern, this is the solution. Having exclusivity means we have first right. Now, I understand that when we do 100 swaps a day in West Texas out in this area, we're going to be able to fill your needs because the city of Clyde is extremely important to us. But you coming in as a contractor, what would happen there on a job, for some reason, if we're all in Hawaii or something and you can't get a roll-off, we get the first right. Then you get permission to go to the second right. That's the way that works. Exclusivity is us having the first right. And I can assure you that we are going to come in and take care of you, the city of Clyde. You do not have to put a job on hold and say, well, we can't do a dumpster because they're the only guys that can do it and they're out. I do have right around 600 roll-off boxes. I've got 25 full-time roll-off drivers. We're moving around. When the city of Clyde needs us, we're there. And if we're not there, next person will step in and be there. But I can assure you that.
I figured that's what you would tell me, but I wanted to hear it.
You can hear it. And you guys will have my number. Y'all can have the owner's number too, but y'all can have my number. And I will be here.
Just to let you know, that statement was recorded, so.
Wait a minute. No, that's great. There were several concerns that we had talked through. Kevin did a great job in this meeting, and one of the things was, hey, our city has gone in and built these enclosures that were real nice, and one of the things we do is we're West Texas side load, right? So we go out there and we look at it, and the enclosures work good. And what we do is we go into those things, we take our containers that go in, and we just set them up on nice locking wheels. We're not gonna set it out next to them. We're gonna use those things over at McDonald's, at Starbucks, and all those. We drove around the city and did that. I lived in Clyde for 15 years, across the street from the park. I care about Clyde a lot. These are my people. My girls went to high school here. And I can tell you, we are extremely excited to be here. Council, great council. I've really gotten to know Stephen a little bit, and Kevin here, I think that was a great ad, and we're excited. And let me tell you, our goal is customer service. That's what we do. One of the things that you guys are gonna learn about us is, man, if there is an issue, they address it quickly, right? Anytime you start something brand new, there'll be some speed bumps out front. But what you see is we have a team. Sitting over there, Cody Ellis, he is our municipal manager. He is a team that caters to your needs. So we're extremely excited about it. I will always be one call away for any of you. I'd love y'all to come take a tour of our facility too.
I need to do that.
We do.
Any other questions for David? Okay.
All right.
Thank you, David.
Everybody left, they missed it.
Can I ask one? It won't take but a second. Before the city took over our trash stuff, I have a neighbor that's very ill, very old. I say very old because he's older than me. But he needs someone to bring his trash can out and back up. And that used to happen if he had he had to have a parking placket or something. Sure. It hasn't happened with the city because the time is just not available.
Right. Well, it's available now.
Would you consider that? Okay.
Absolutely. So what we do, and the city will be able to, I'll say police it, probably up front with the girls.
Because I've been doing it for them.
We have a VIP program that for our municipals that is no extra charge.
Okay.
Any of your citizens that need that, if there's 13 citizens that need their trash taken out, we'll come do it.
Okay.
So you tell the city up front, and they'll work with us, and there'll be a VIP customer, and we'll make that happen. We have 17 municipal contracts, and there's a handful of 10, 15 people out there that we come and get their trash. Now, we don't want to come get somebody's trash and see them at the gym lifting
That's
400 pounds, right?
No.
Running. No,
You won't see him.
I'm just playing with you, but absolutely, we will certainly do that for anyone who needs to.
Thank you.
Okay. It has been a very unorthodox meeting tonight, so,
Sorry about that.
we're off the rails all over the place, but it was needed tonight. Thank you, David. Now, I do have a question regarding implementation of the processes. How is that information going to be shared with everybody about what the new options and that are available to them? How are we going to get that information out?
We have until they will begin servicing the city of Clyde the first week of October, which I believe is the 5th. It is my understanding that they will keep the same days that we currently have for trash. So if you have a Monday trash day or Tuesday trash day, that will remain the same. So we have until the week of October 5th to get the message out. Chris, our PAO, our information, we will be putting stuff on Facebook. We will be have little flyers giving all the information. But I will tell you a couple of the things that we haven't had in the past that we're going to get with going with CWS is that we will have a quarterly bulk pickup at your house.
Yes.
So you do not have to pile that into your car and take it to the convenience center. Every quarter, they will come by to your residence and pick that up. Now, there's a limit on, you can't put your whole house out there and get rid of everything, but, mattresses and stuff like that. In addition, we also have, we will be having 2 citywide cleanups. One in the fall and one in the spring, probably at the Public Works, where you'll be able to bring tires and paints and that sort of thing as well. So we'll be working on that. I think that is they also have a, what you call the call, the $25.
On-demand bulk.
On demand.
On-demand bulk.
So let's say you cannot wait for the quarter to come up and you have a couch or a mattress that you have to get rid of now. There is an option where you can call City Hall and we can put in a request. It's $25 and they will come on a certain day of the week, I think maybe on Friday or something like that, and they will come pick that up for $25. So that would be available as well if you can't wait for the 3 months. So in that 3 months, we're going to be working on converting a lot of this stuff, working with them on converting. Residents will still call City Hall for questions and concerns, and we will relay those whether we need to. If we can handle it, we will. If not, we'll pass this on to CWS to handle those. We will still be doing the billing, and so we will still be with your water bill, and so you will come up to City Hall to pay it or put it in the mail or online. So that will not change. We will still bill for the service.
Kevin, on that $25, will that be added
To your water bill.
to the bill?
Correct. If you call up and you say, hey, I need them to come pick up something, we will call them, let them know. We will do a service ticket. Once they pick it up, they will let us know, and then we will add the $25 to your water bill. Is how it
There
works.
is no other increase in price for this trash changeover.
Correct.
We are still generating revenue as a city. We will be doing away with the convenience center because we will have the on-demand and the bulk pickups. And that's gonna save Jerry's department a lot of money, so.
Well, yeah, a lot of.
Lot of hassle.
A lot of man time, is what we'll be saving for those 10 people that do that. But yes, we will still be making, some money on the, sanitation without the liability. We won't have to buy new, trucks anymore, which those trucks usually about
They're
5
wonderful
years.
trucks. They're wonderful trucks.
They are wonderful trucks. I love those. Those trucks are in
I
the
own
best.
them now.
They are the best trucks. I have in the best shape. No, just there's a lot of wear and tear, and he will tell you there's a lot of capital expense and sanitation with buying those trucks.
Yeah.
And those trucks are not cheap. And so what we're doing is that we're passing that liability to them, but we're still making money on the administrative side with us doing the billing.
So, to squash the rumor that I already saw today on the wonderful, gossip chain of Facebook, there is no rate increase for trash services.
Correct.
Period. We have incorporated a 3% annual cost of living increase that everybody can plan for and budget for every year. So there's no surprises. So. Any further questions from council? At this time, I will entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the contract with County Waste Service for solid waste collection.
I'll second it.
Motion to approve by Amy Jolly, seconded by David Mann. All in favor? All opposed?
Maybe even approved.
My granddaughter said yes. Passes unanimously. Outstanding. 8.10, consider with possible action accepting the sealed bids for the 4 published properties owned by the city of Clyde. Kevin, do we have any sealed bids?
We did not receive any sealed bids.
Okay. So we have no action to take on that item. Moving on to item 8.12. Consider with possible action republishing the sale of city-owned properties by sealed bid for properties located at 121 South 3rd Street, Lot 7 through 12, Block 37, Railroad Subdivision, Clyde, Texas, which is the old Boys and Girls Club building, and corrected address of 123 North 4th Street West, lots 10 through 12, Block 1, Shanks Subdivision, Clyde, Texas, which is the old Senior Citizens building. And we should consider with possible action adding in the property, the 120 acres.
It was already
You already
done,
did.
and yes, so on 811 here, David
With the
Mann was,
motion?
yeah, David Mann made that in his motion. The reason we're gonna do this one is because one of the addresses were incorrect. And so I just feel that it's fair, we just put it up with the correct address. And
I
so-
have heard from a couple of realtors that they're just not aware of the listings because they don't really pay attention to know when to look at the newspaper or know when it's, posted online. So maybe one of the things we should consider also with this is putting up some for sale signs or something,
Oh,
something
yeah.
basic.
Yeah.
That's old school, but might work.
Yeah.
So
Will you?
we can put that in a motion if we need to. Hush, Jerry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Voluntold. Yeah, we'll
I will
do it at
open
those
it
two
up
locations.
for council discussion. Bo, do you have anything?
Well, I have a question. Do we not have Paul Johnson? I mean, is it not the realtor on this, or?
We are not able to, according to TML, list it with the realtor. We have to go through this process of listing with the newspaper.
With the RFP system, okay.
Once we get above the 5,000 threshold, we have more options, but we're not there yet.
Gotcha.
Michael? Nope. Jim? Amy? David? At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve as written.
David Mann. Sorry. David Mann, motion to approve, seconded by Mike Shellhammer. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously.
That's the hard one.
Okay, item 8.13, consider with possible action choosing a new City of Clyde logo. Chris Barnett, you're up.
I didn't know I was speaking on this until now. Okay, I'll improv. So before y'all have different designs, different logos that.
Did you have it on the slide?
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Do you have the slide? If you don't, that's okay.
No, I don't.
Okay.
But anyway, so, like I said earlier, the council has voted to move in a new direction when it comes to being transparent and re-engaging the citizens and re-engaging the community and reinvigorating the city, changing the direction of the city. So, one of the things that we do that is one, through social media, two, through our website, which our website is, I don't know if y'all know, that our website is completely being redone. It's about a couple weeks away from being completed, so it looks great. It's easy to use. Another avenue is a transformation of the logo that we adopted in, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago under a different administration. So we're moving into a different light for the city and a different, sleeker feel for it. So, and part of the process is, since the website is being redone and easier for the citizens to use, has more information for the citizens to use, this is part of that process of rebranding the city into something different, so.
Thank you.
No problem. Before y'all have the decisions, so y'all just let me know what y'all wanna do.
Thank you.
Chris, do you need this?
So as part of this, what will need to happen is kind of need to know what everybody's favorites are. And then as part of your motion, if you make a motion to do this, it needs to include which logo. So
Do we get to vote?
Well, Miss Lenny, I keep hearing two in the background, but I'm gonna ignore that, so.
How much is it gonna cost the city to change all this? I know
So,
vehicles and things like that.
so the police department vehicles have their own different logo. The actual logo that's on like city trucks is just like a circular sticker. Like it's not like a full.
State of Texas.
Yeah, it's not a full blanched. Anything else, as in documents, that's like 3-button click change. Of course, social media is button click change. So you're talking a very, very extremely minute change to change the face of the city for its logo.
One of the issues that when I got here that I noticed that was kind of my pet peeve is that with municipal court, they were sending letters with one logo, and then the envelopes had a different logo. And then I go out to Public Works and they have a different logo. So we've had a couple of logos throughout the years. And so what we're trying to do is consolidate a lot of this so we have one identity. Not that we're trying to get away from Clyde, Texas, but make it more unified. So when people see that, they know that it's Clyde. And so that's all we're really trying to do. Plus too, the older logos, they're harder to, on the marketing, on hats and shirts, just with the letter type and especially with the Texas that has that shadow, that's really hard to put on caps and shirts. Whereas a block letter, plain kind of Clyde is a lot easier on the marketing side with printing.
Okay.
There will be some cost on your envelopes and your
Yeah.
letterhead, but it's gonna be minimal in the grand scheme of things.
Yes.
Does that answer your questions, Jim?
Yes.
Michael, any questions, comments?
No.
Oh,
No, I'm good.
Amy,
No, I'm good.
Jim, David. Got Jim on the brain.
Go in there, everyone.
The other Jim.
Actually, I kind of have two. One
Okay.
real simple is, can we not just maybe give our top two as we go through this? And once we all name it and we have our top two, can we not put it out to the citizens for a vote?
We could do that. And you can make that motion as you see fit.
And we can bring
I
back,
can remember it.
we
Yeah.
can bring back the results at the next council
Wouldn't that be cool?
meeting, and then you will know kind of the percentage of each, if we can go down to.
Chris is like, dang it.
Are you taking notes, Chris?
So the whole point, the whole point is, there's been a lot of effort into this website and to the new social media, and to the new presence of the city. The whole point is to get this done, so I can smack it all at once with the entirety of the new city of Clyde.
Rolling out,
Yes,
rolling out with the new
everything.
website and implementing it with
And
that.
I get it, sir, I do get it, but it's just, it makes it streamlined and it makes it easier to do it all at once with the entire thing, website.
You don't like government red tape?
I worked for the Army for 18 years, I know the red tape. That's why I'm saying, it's easier to streamline
Yeah.
it this way.
All right, so I think, my personal opinion is that, they elected you for a reason. It's time to make a decision.
So we each say our favorite?
Yep.
Yeah, so, David, your top two.
Top two, 4 and 9.
4 and 9.
8.
David Mann, 4 and 9. Quit being influenced by the audience.
Oh, I'm not influenced.
Peanut gallery out there. Amy Jolly, your top two.
2 and 8.
2 and 8. Jim Rector, your top two.
It's so hard. There's too many choices. Well, if I'm gonna be a peanut, I might as well be one.
2 and 9. Michael Shellhammer.
2 and 2.
2 and 2? That doesn't work.
2 and 7.
2 and 7.
Because there's a lot of kind of a fire.
Bo Davidson.
I like 9 and 10.
9 and 10. You just like to be different.
Yeah.
All right, my two favorites were 1 and 4.
You don't count.
So
That's right, you actually don't get a vote, Stephen.
the actual,
All over the map again.
we had 3 number 2s,
Number 9s.
3 number 9s, and everything else was sporadic. So between 2 and 9.
2.
9.
David says 9.
2.
Amy says 2.
Like 2.
Jim says 2. Mike says 2.
I'm gonna go with 9.
Vote with 9. Majority votes 2, so that needs to be part of your motion if you so choose.
Somebody make a motion to pick 2.
I move to go with.
2.
Hang on.
Hang on, everybody, hang on.
We're bribing this guy.
Dwayne? Michael, go ahead.
I move to go with option 2 on the logos.
Motion to approve with option 2.
And I guess I'll second.
Michael Shellhammer, seconded by David Mann. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Can you believe
That's the
that?
hardest thing all night.
Hardest thing we've done all night.
Yeah, can we move the star
up
to
to
Clyde?
Clyde? Chris?
Chris?
Chris, can we move the star up to Clyde instead of Austin? The star's kind of like way down.
It's just because it's printed small.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't
so-
want to be near that.
Yeah, no.
We don't want to be associated with
And
us.
here's something that I also I can put established, whatever whatever that year is. 1881.
That's phenomenal.
Yes, I can put the established in there.
Yes.
Perfect.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Great idea. Glad you came up with it.
All right, Peanut Gallery, Dwayne. Consider with possible action approving a school resource officer interlocal agreement with Clyde Consolidated Independent School District. I would also like to acknowledge our superintendent has joined us tonight. Thank you for being here.
Hey, I apologize for the dress. We had a professional development that was a beach theme today. I had to go home and change.
Sure you did.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever. All right, Kevin?
Yes, me and the police chief Trevor met with the superintendent and the CFO, right? About a month ago, had a great conversation about the SRO contract. From previous years, we've kept it pretty much intact. The only thing, we changed a little bit of the language, and I think we increased the amount by $312 or something around that side. But what it allows is for us to continue providing the school district with an SRO for the school year, and then during the summertime, he works for the police on patrol. And we share in that cost where they pay for 8 months, and, is that right, 8 months or whatever, and then we pay for the other amount. So that's where we come up with the money, is the amount of time that school is actually in session.
So that $300 and something adjustment monthly, annually?
Annually.
Okay.
Annually.
Okay.
And what that covers is the salary of the officer.
Okay. David, do you have any questions, comments? Amy?
Yes, sir.
Jim?
One officer.
Okay. Mike?
I think it's a great idea.
Vote?
I like it. We work good with CCISD and
This time I'll entertain a motion regarding item 8.14.
I'll make a motion to approve a school resource officer interlocal agreement with Clyde Consolidated Independent School District.
Great job. Motion to approve by Amy Jolly, seconded by Jim Rector. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously.
now the other hard one.
8.15, consider and discuss fiscal year 26-27 budget schedule. Kevin?
Yes, this is a schedule for the upcoming budget season. Actually, it started for me a couple weeks ago. We can change some of these dates if we need to, but what it has is budget workshops every Tuesday, except for those weeks that we have council. It also has when we will receive the certified numbers, when we have to do certain things with posting to or giving to the city secretary, posting to our website. And then when the budget will actually be voted on and when we have the public hearing. So it's just kind of the schedule. The later ones in August and really 1st of September, if we need those, they are available. We may not need those and we'll just have to wait and see. But this is the schedule that I've kind of put together, just seeing if you are good with that schedule to go forward. The first meeting will be next Tuesday, if you so wish to go with the schedule.
Okay. David, questions, comments?
I see one that conflicts with mine, but it's one of the later ones, so it may not even be an issue.
Okay. Amy?
I like them. The more meetings, I think, the more workshops we have, the better
Absolutely.
It'll go. So, yeah.
Jim?
I know I've already talked to Kevin, I'm gonna be out 1 week there as well.
Mike?
I don't have anything.
Bo?
Oh, that looks good.
Okay. This time I'll entertain a motion regarding item 8.15.
I'll make a motion to approve as written.
Motion to approve as written. I like it.
I'll second
David
it.
Mann, seconded by Amy Jolly. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Financial statement, income statement summary ending June 30th, 2026. Kevin?
Yes.
I will make the request that we speed this one up a little bit.
Oh, we will.
I'll second it.
I'm just saying, our PAO might have had this done ahead of us.
Use my laptop. He would have, but so he didn't have the laptop.
We got a nice laptop. I wanna use it too.
I wanted to present this tonight because this is how the budget will be presented. A little bit different than probably in the past, what y'all are used to. So if we look here, I'm sorry for those in the audience because that is really small, but it is actually bigger than the other documents that we have. But this is the general fund. This is the police. This is administration. This is community development. This is municipal court. All of the departments other than water, wastewater, and sanitation. We can look here that year-to-date, total revenue so far that the city has brought in was $4.3 million. We brought in $788,000 in a transfer from sanitation, so total revenue for the general fund is $5.1 million. Our total expenses so far this year are $4.3 million. So we have, what is that, $800,000 to the good. I will tell you that this month, at our beginning of next month, we have the bond payments that are due, and most of those expenses will be going up. But here we have each department. There's administration and has the year-to-date expenses for each department and each line item that we have. And during our budget workshops, we'll be going over each of these departments, talking about these line items and the expenses associated with those line items. And so we'll go through, and then we have certain funds that are in the general fund, but they are accounted separately because they have their own income set. or they're restricted, which means we cannot use them except for certain things, such as the LEOS Fund. LEOS Fund is money we receive from the state, and it can only be used by law enforcement for education purposes. So it has to be separate and accounted separately. Same thing with restricted court funds. We get money for court security, court technology, and that's the only thing that we can spend that money on. So we have to take that out of the general fund and keep that separate. Enterprise funds, this is the water, wastewater, and sanitation. In the new budget, there will not be a sanitation revenue or expense because we have sold that off today, and it will not be there at the beginning of next year. The revenue for the sanitation on the administrative side will be going into the general fund. But here we have the water revenues and the wastewater revenues. And the sanitation in this one, which goes to about 3.6 million, is what we've spent so far this year. Our expenses so far are 3.4 million. Once again, we have some bond payments coming out, and so those expenses are going to go up. But we're to the good 200,000 on the enterprise funds. So this is kind of the, and then it has each, just like the other one, the expenses as well. Here you can see, here's our debt service that we have to pay for the enterprise funds. And then the wastewater expenses as well. But I wanted y'all to see this, so when we start talking about budget, you've kind of seen the form that we will talk about, and also in the budget meetings, we will have previous year's amounts, so we can look at 2 years prior, what we spent, last year, what we spent, the budget for this year, what we spent so far this year, and then what the new budget is. So we'll give you kind of a past of what has happened and what we think is gonna happen. I will say that some of the numbers kind of move around, just because we're doing some new accounting allocations on that. And so some of those numbers won't be exactly the same, but I'll explain that in the budget workshops.
The only thing I would ask of you moving forward is please dumb down the numbers, because
Yeah.
make it simple. So, David, questions?
No, I like the look, it's basic P&L look for me, so I
Yeah.
like it.
Makes it pretty simple.
Yeah,
Amy?
I agree. I like it a lot.
Jim?
Looks good.
Michael?
I like it.
Bo?
I really, really, really like it.
Fantastic.
As for dumbing down the numbers, that is for, the PowerPoint type presentation. If you want me to still do that, or if you
Sure, you can do it.
If you want to do it,
No,
it's all good.
I don't have to.
But
Just
other than that, I was going to present something tonight. Let's go ahead and probably get out of here after this. I want to kind of cover some of the 8 major changes that have happened that have been spearheaded by the city administrator that I've seen that are huge for Clyde, something that we've needed a long time. But I'll probably cover those in the next meeting. The way transactions are handled, budgeting, debt. It's been a lot of changes. I know it's a lot of difficulty, but I think this is going to be really important for the city. And like I said, I'll do that on the next meeting.
Thank you. I very much appreciate that. So with that being said, the time is now 8:43 p.m. Call this meeting adjourned. Thank you for your participation. And thank you for your patience.
I am assuming you want to come in the next couple of days to sign paper.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's a big
Works for me.